Unfortunately, the man I sent in doesn't have the proper equipment to get high quality photographs, so they're not that good. I just vaguely saw your colors. There was also a
I got
white
it.
NBC suit, a full white one. It's not one I've seen before, so I'm not sure what it was.
Oh, damn. Maybe they have something from the CDC.
Well, that would probably be true, actually. Ghost is Mason. He was he was one of the heads in the CD for quite a while.
Oh my
Oh, there you
He
go.
tries to keep that
What
identity
am I
hidden, but I
witnessing?
mean, very good job of it.
How
The way
about
I
that?
see it, the person posing in that
Microsoft looks
poster
so
there
weak.
is human. If it were any of the
Wait a
mutant
sec, I have
First
handcuffed
appear to
families,
keys.
be
it'd probably send a better message if they were a mutant posing in that photo. So I'm
That's true. I think if it was any of the mutants, they would want you to know.
instead
They
of
would want you to
somebody
know mutant
accidentally
kind
cuffed themselves.
was
Well,
quote unquote superior.
here's my hypothesis, right? So, they made the issue of cannibalism very apparent with their message along with the poster. You know, human remains found inside their storage cooked, right? It
Right,
almost
yes.
has like a certain ring to it, like they're trying to make it seem like such a bad thing.
That is
And,
yours.
you know, don't
That
get me
is
wrong,
yours to partake.
it
That
is,
yours to
but this
partake.
island is so used to that, you know, their message isn't exactly
I can
reaching
understand.
anybody.
they're trying to prove that cannibalism is wrong.
Yes, a man must
Not a
go
whole
through
lot of people
solitude.
on this island would naturally do that, mind you, except, you guys, LNS, Broken Arrow, the
And the
Navy,
riders.
and the Riders. But the
Fascinating.
Navy,
Something else that I picked up, I feel I should add before I forget, is that they have tried to point out several times to me specifically over the radio, stating, "It sure is weird that Cromwell talks to them when they've had human, and they've done this multiple times.
No, I was.
Who?
Not only that, but they're doing it namelessly on the radio. But the same people also refuse to answer my call outs to have alter property returned,
That's
meaning
pretty
that
good fun,
whoever it is has someone to hate you and me, and they want us to fight each other. That much is apparent. They want us to fight you.
Well, one thing's for sure. A Broken Arrow LNS dry bag was left inside of our compound. And as far as we know, the only people who are able to obtain such things are the people from Broken Arrow themselves. So that's one of our suspicions.
we know
Uh,
we know it wasn't you guys because they all left altar armbands, which I'm gonna round up and bring back to you guys. There's no point in us really
I
having.
was kicked out of fucking altar.
Oh, I appreciate that. I mean, of course, feel free to keep one at the very least for old times' sake.
But yeah, continue going. Sorry.
thank you.
It would cost a lot
But yeah,
of
no,
materials,
not only that, but like you
if
guys
you're
never
ready
knew
to
we even
wait
had the
with,
concrete tower above the
two rounds
biozone.
less on
You
you
know,
for
you
1
thought
No,
that
I
hour,
had no
belonged to
clue.
TA for
feel free
fuck's
to
sake, so
try.
that completely ruled you out.
That's
Which
one
Yeah,
way
you
to
said they trust
leaves,
that too.
which leaves the Navy, Broken Arrow, and the Riders. Now, we
So,
involved the Navy because
Oh god.
Vincent, the head of it,
Fuck are you?
hails from a settlement called Sanctuary. And he ran it with his partner, Ron Swanson, a person who we murdered and, turned into some fancy crowns, which are missing, by the way. They decided to take that as well. It's in the photo.
Yes.
And you know, I think he could get riders on board with this agenda of his if it turns out to be true. After all, they were best friends essentially. They were back to back in everything, and riders spent the majority of their time with the settlers of Sanctuary.
Mind you, too, Cirrus of Broken Arrow, um, has openly been communicating with both the Navy and the Riders.
And he was also seen with them up at Island George's pool party having private discussions with them as well.
The day before we got raided.
Odd. I find it very. Well, that makes it even more
Shut the
suspicious.
fuck
Isn't,
up.
isn't
But
that the US
I find
Marines
myself a
thing?
tad confused. I mean, Broken Arrow making a move against you would be like if we made a move against Duskar. It doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the position we sit with our respective companies.
Unless Cirrus
Well,
wanted to
here's
stay
the thing.
Marine
anonymous.
Corps.
No, I did not, sir.
Not just
Didn't
that,
want to be known.
but you know,
Oh.
if Sirius labels us the bad guys
Why then
in
did
the eyes of
Brayon
LNS,
die?
you know, that could get him a nice promotion, get him some
Oh.
nice shit. As far as I'm
Interesting.
concerned,
Is it,
this is
is
like some
Montana
sort
part
of
the Great
fucking,
Plains?
I don't know, competition, if you will, for him.
Think so? I don't fucking remember.
Maybe so.
We staked
And I do
out.
think it is worth noting that he would never come for you directly. He doesn't have the
Is
manpower.
it next to Wyoming?
Staked
Not
out.
only that, but
Certainly
we're
did.
not on the
Not,
best of terms either. He tended
I'm a
to
fan of
try
geography,
and
but
underhand our guys with a
Montana.
lot of deals. But continue.
We staked out on both Riders' compounds, and we looked into Broken Arrow as much as we could without getting
I
through their
believe it
locked
is part of the
doors.
Great Plains
And
promotion, though.
Broken Arrow and maybe the top of the
I live-
Riders'
I live near
compound
Great Plains.
might be a spot where our stuff could have been held, but we firmly believe that it was
Yeah,
Ah,
well, then I wasn't part of the Great Plains. I was in Great Falls.
as it looks awfully familiar to what we've seen before there. Also,
Right, I mean,
the Riders
it
have
looks
two
familiar to me.
bases. The Riders have two bases. The Navy only has one, and Broken Arrow only
I do
has.
know that even though Wyoming and Colorado are right next to each other, Colorado had a population
How
30
many
times
people
that
is
of
Broken
Wyoming.
Arrow? Are we sure about that? Do they have enough people to take a secondary one?
It's a good
I know
question.
Dirk has passed, but
Yeah, pretty much.
they have a few
Most of
employees. There's
Gold
a
Rush admit
possibility
they all
that they
just kind of
do.
fucked off.
Female named
But
Perhaps
Rebecca.
they just haven't.
There's Tommy.
I've
There's
heard that name a
Colorado has
lot
more
lately.
flat land than Wyoming
and there's
does.
Sirius. Who else is employed by them?
Oh.
There's
Oh, there's
Tyler.
there's also the lady too.
So that's four. All that takes is one more person we don't know about, and then
True.
sort of paving the path.
We're gonna
Oh my
reach out to
goodness, that is a
Locke and
tall
see if he can get a list of employees from the Broken Arrow for us, and hopefully to launch an investigation and help us.
Did they?
So if they only have 4, then I guess, you know, signs point to the Navy.
I don't think it would be the Navy as a whole. The thing is that, let's be honest, Higgins, he talks a big game, but he's only a petty officer. Now, Higgins, I could see him working against. I don't think that the Navy itself would ever get involved, though. I mean, I know, even though we have a deal with the Navy for Espen, it's not like I can call on the Navy on a whim to care much about small things like this on the island. I
Well,
will
here's the
add
thing.
that the only person. No, go ahead.
Why wouldn't they back him up? After all, you know, we're the scum of the earth as far as they're concerned. We've done some real
Well,
bad and fucked up shit to Vincent and his pals.
that's true, but I feel like if the Navy really wanted to do something about you, they would have just launched artillery or a full frontal. Arbiters are tough, but you're not fight the United States Navy tough. Here's what I think. Here's what I think is the most likely candidate right now. I think that you're onto something. I think that they're definitely keeping it underground. Since we have found no evidence at all of it being kept in Stonington in the underground complex, I think it most likely is my old base. I think that you're onto something with the way that the walls look there. I can't think of anywhere else that has that tall of stone slabs of that color. On top of that, when it comes to people who hate both me and you and have a decent enough reason to want us to fight each other, the Riders come to my mind immediately. Lug never let go of what I did to Arthur. Plus, not to mention, they were working with Stag at the time, too, so they also have another reason to have it out for me. top of that,
You know,
we
that
cut
is
into the
another
repair
thing.
business for a moment too. Go ahead.
I'm not sure if it's
Why
worth
the
place,
fuck
to be
is
honest. I
Sirius
don't know.
working with people who worked with the communists?
Good question. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if I believe the writers cut
Yes.
ties, from what I
Yeah.
understand. I think La Cosa, whatever, is the only Stag
Yes.
affiliate. It's still suspicious. Do we know if
Might,
he has any
I
direct
don't know.
friends
I should
or
dismantle it
associates
and just
inside? I
put
didn't
one
know
of
much about
these two
Durka other than his old
fridges and
ties. So, oh my god, don't do that.
not sure.
Holy shit.
Oh,
Scared
yes.
me.
Fucking spooky.
That is
I
true.
never knew she was there. Anyway, what was I saying? Claire, your radio is off and
Yes,
gone, correct?
potatoes, you do
You did just
not put
walk
them
in
in the
on a very
fridge,
important
usually.
meeting. I know you probably fell asleep in here, but make sure.
Otherwise you kill the potatoes. They rot.
Battery is up.
Alright, good.
Yes.
Go
Where's
outside, play
battery?
with
This is
Isaac.
why potatoes were part of the common vegetables
Okay.
in New
Hey,
France
can
you
you
would
guys
keep
keep
in
your
the
voice
Remember,
down a
do
little
not go
bit?
upstairs. I would be upset.
Apologies.
No worries, no worries. I'm sorry. Thank you.
Alright, what was I at? No, you're,
You were
like I said, you're
saying
on.
about the riders and Sirius possibly having connections and friends.
Right. That Tyler fellow. You know anything about him? I never heard his name until he got to Broken Arrow, though.
Oh,
Not
hey,
sure where he
Rory.
came from.
Interesting.
I want to add on to that too. A woman by the name Rebecca stopped by about an hour before we got raided. Um, at least it
I've heard
seems
that
like it.
name a few times recently. I've never met a Rebecca, but I've heard people mention a Rebecca.
Um, she was
Not
wearing
And
a
just
they
red
said
you,
they were
armband.
but
going up to
those people.
Portland too.
Yeah.
I think, no, a little bit of encouragement to lease information from the mouths of people who live in Portland is due.
We went over there yesterday.
What about?
I, we robbed like 6 people there yesterday.
Did you
They all go.
interrogate them?
Yeah, I got a lot of information. I talked to you about what
They
Lucy
know a
said.
Rebecca?
Nobody said they knew a Rebecca.
Interesting.
Have any talks been had with Elusive yet? I mean,
Lucy's
I
been
don't think he
gone.
would ever have the gall to be involved, but he sure does like to own rare things. It would
Elusive
seem like
disappeared about 2 or 3 days ago.
What?
what?
Yeah.
Not look at me like I'm some crazy mutant.
Huh.
Nobody's seen him up north.
Odd. Okay.
Oh,
I still think that pursuing the riders is probably going to be our best chance here. But getting information out of them is they're like getting water from a stone. It's not going to be an easy process. We're going to have to. I think what's going to happen is someone's going to have to catch a slip up.
Yeah.
Maybe
You're going to
so,
have to
maybe
send
so.
someone that Sirius. You have to send someone that Sirius doesn't know. Someone who can chat them up, see if they have any other locations. Maybe try to
Maybe
get a
we
man on
can,
the inside yourself.
that too, but, I don't know, maybe some simulated warfare between, Alter and the Arbiters, might, turn the Riders into your friends a little bit. Maybe they'll open up to you about some things.
Maybe. That's always a risky thing to try to pull off. I mean, the amount of people that need to know that it's fake is what concerns me with the groups as big as ours.
True, true, true. It's very puzzling.
Well, we're gonna keep investigating the north here.
Don't deal with me,
Keep
please.
an eye out on that base. I'm sure it's not.
Probably a good idea.
Oh, never mind. Alright.
Yeah,
No,
we'll
I don't
keep
think it's
tabs
them.
on
I just heard you say
I'm
you
keeping
looked
a
at
keep
close